Yo, what's good, boys? Welcome back to Cree Talk. Today we're going to be talking about Ecclesiastes 7:16, and that says, "Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself overwise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?" Right? So what this is saying is that we should never obsess so much over being perfect. We should never chase absolute perfection in everything that we do. Yes, we want to be the best that we could possibly do, but at the same time, you can't chase perfection to the point where you are losing your mind, right? I have become so obsessed over trading, over becoming the absolute best trader to the point where I cut everyone out in my life. I cut out everything in my life that I enjoyed before, and I solely focused on trading for months and months and months, over a year, right? Over almost a year and a half. I did nothing but trade and social media every single day and working, right? Social media, I mean posting, right? I'm working when I'm on social media every single day, 10 hours a day, from the moment I wake up to the time I go to bed. If I'm not doing that, I'm eating healthy, I'm working out, I'm reading, something like that. I got to the point where I was so obsessed with being absolutely perfect in my execution to become a profitable trader that I lost myself in the process, right? Right? When you try to become perfect, when you try to do something great in life, you gain wisdom, right? You gain wisdom because you go through a lot of things, bro. I'm a completely different man than I was a year and a half ago. I can't tell you how many different ways I have just completely leveled up my life, even though I'm not making consistent money yet. I'm not even making money yet, right? But I have completely leveled up my life. And the one thing that has caused that is me following God, number one, and second of all, Him giving me trading, which has completely changed my life and how I react to things, right? And how I hold myself, okay? And it got to the point where I was just so obsessed over becoming the best trader, becoming over wise, as it says in here, just the absolute best, being perfect, is what it was all on my mind. And I lost myself in the process to where I enjoy nothing but working. And I isolated myself, I put myself in a hole. And that's what it's saying, at what cost? At what cost is being the wisest person? At what cost is being the most perfect, the absolute best trader in the world? At what cost? At what cost is it to be that? Right? And many people, they want to be the best trader in the world. They want to be, the best mentor. I do as well, right? But I know that if I obsess over something to the point where it is 100% every single day for the rest of my life, yes, I understand periods of time where you're so locked in. That was my period of time. That's where I needed to show to myself that I'm made for this, where I put in so much work for a year and a half straight, to the point where there is no turning back, right? That's a phase that you must go through. And even right now, bro, all I'm doing every single day is working on my business, working on me every single day, right? And you just got to learn, bro. We always need to improve. We always need to get better. But chasing absolute perfection in everything that you do, you're going to fail. You're going to have times where you're not going to do as good as you think you are. And with that being said, you're going to beat yourself up about it, because I've been in the same exact position. I've been in that position, bro, where I just tear myself up. Bro, I've went through losing streaks where I don't win in 2-3 weeks. I went through a losing streak last summer where I did not win one trade in a whole month. And I'm telling you, I was trading 3 times a week, executing 3 times a week. And I beat myself up about that. And guess what I did? I put in 10-hour days after that. I had a strict schedule, so I would literally wake up in the morning at 4:30, do about 2 hours, 2.5 hours of work, eat breakfast, another 2.5 hours, eat lunch, another 3-4 hours, and then eat dinner. And then the rest of the night I read, a gym. Is that really worth it? I believe it's worth locking in, bro, for sure. You need to have that time where you're fully focused and fully locked in on what you want to do, but you can never obsess and isolate yourself at the same time and just focus solely on you and yourself for an extended period of time. This was kind of everywhere, this video. I'm sorry. Just finished up a crazy workout. It's really, really hot. But I hope this message was able to get across to some of y'all boys. Yes, become the absolute best version of yourself. Work every single day towards that. But you can't neglect things that matter also in your life. You can't neglect those things. So yeah, appreciate y'all boys for being here. If y'all want to join the Discord, it's called The Creed. It'll be left down in the description. But other than that, thank y'all again, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.